And good morning to you. Really didn't do a whole lot on the 4th of July. Unfortunately, I had to work, so I didn't get home. And by the time I was home, I was just ready to just kind of take it easy. So I was just binge watching Star Trek Voyager. Yeah, you can only watch that for so long, right? Well, that was funny for us too because the actual paid holiday at work was on Friday. We got paid for it. Got holiday pay on Friday on the 3rd. And the office staff, most of the office staff wasn't there. But operations, of course, had to be there. And that was the day we got it. And so it was just regular pay yesterday. Excuse me. You're like a drool sprinkler. Good morning, Jane. Welcome to the live. Hey, Susan. Always. Problem is, he'd be happy with me doing this the whole live stream, except for the fact that my arm's going to cramp up pretty quick here. And then it's going to have to stop, and then he'll think I don't love him anymore, and he'll slink back to his room, and we won't see him for the rest of the live stream. Yeah. I saw clips of the fireworks display in DC. Yeah, that was amazing. Largest one ever, they said. Okay, thank you. I needed my arm to rest anyway. Yeah, these are my new friends here. Like I said, they aren't cheap toys. They're solid plastic. So I don't know. They got really great detail on them, and they're kind of fun looking. That's a good one. That's something you'd want to run into in a dark alley, right? And then of course got this little guy here. So that one's really cool. They're a little out of scale though. This one compared to these two, this one should be like this big, but whatever. We'll live with what we got. Yeah, well, that was what a lot of times you can pick up stuff like that and say, "Oh, this is cheap." like I said, that's solid. That isn't like some hollow thing. So they're pretty well built. They were have really good detail in the paint. So yeah, I thought they were cool. I don't know. It's not going to be something that turns into another collection like the rocks or anything where I keep getting more and more and more of these. I guess like I said in the video, I want to keep like a little memento from some of the fun things I've gotten to see. And usually it comes in the form of magnets, but they didn't have any magnets there, so I had to go in an alternate direction. No, no. This would normally be my go to the rock shop weekend, but Kara took the week off this week, so won't be any rocks for a couple of weeks. But that's okay. I told Kara last time I was there. She kind of last time I was there, she was saying she was thinking about maybe being off on the fourth. She hadn't decided yet, and I said, okay, well, let me know. And she let me know a couple of days later that yeah, we're going to be closed on the fourth and fifth. So I said, okay, maybe that's a good thing. It'll give me time to get a little more over my rock and mineral show hangover. You get back in the point where I'm because I haven't been a very good customer lately. I've been buying little things lately, but she did send me a couple of pictures of things here. Let me show you some of these things. Hang on, let me get this set up. Let's see, I got to get it just right here. Yeah, that was the one. Okay, check this out here. Okay, let me continue getting it set up. Now I found what I was looking for. Now I got to set it up so you can watch here. Okay, so this is the thing that she sent me recently, and I thought that was really cool. What it is, it's quartz and pyrite, and I've got a little bit of quartz and pyrite, but this has got big defined chunks of pyrite, and I thought that was really cool. So I definitely want to see that. Let's see what else she had here, and I think I own that, so I've gone too far back here. Hang on. Yeah, there's another piece. Look at how big that is. How cool is that? So I definitely want to see that. Oops, weird artifact with the way their little scrolling from page to page thing works here. Yeah, see, there's the two together. Oh well. All right, I've done enough with that. This is getting silly. You're still here though, aren't you? I definitely want to see both of them in person. But yeah, I really like that first one too. I like that big giant quartz chunk hanging out the side of it. Yeah, I definitely want to see that one. Very happy with the new refrigerator. Yeah, it's doing a good job. I figured that I'm decided that I'm going to put like drinks in that little drawer in the middle. I think that's kind of what that's for. It looks like it's kind of geared up for that. It turned out that that Habitat for Humanity place, I looked at them a little closer, and if you look at their website, one of the requirements in terms of getting a refrigerator is that it's got to be less than 10 years old. This one was nearly 20, so it turns out I got it to the Salvation Army, and they took it. All they wanted is that it works, and it works. It works good. You know, even when it was leaking, it was working good. So I'm glad I didn't have to dispose of it because it's one thing if it's no good anymore, but it's still a good refrigerator, and sometimes we just throw things away because it's easier. Easily, John. And it really is a decent refrigerator. It's got the ice maker. It's side by side, so and all the drawers were in there. I cleaned it up really good inside. So yeah, it should be good to go. Cleaned it inside and out. Might need another water filter in there, but you can get that anywhere. You can get that on Amazon, can't you? Yeah, well, I'm all about that. I would have replaced my dishwasher a long time ago if I had that kind of mentality. But why should I? My dishwasher works great, right? You don't have any complaints about the dishwasher. Look at me. What are you saying? Yeah, they usually do that. I didn't actually get a receipt, so I don't care. I'm more happy just getting it so it's not being just thrown away. If somebody else can get some use out of it, then good for them. Notice that my little instance thing here is covering up Matt's videos. How rare, how raw, rude is that, huh? No, I haven't heard from Jordan in a while. I mean, he recommended a Facebook page for me. Apparently, there's a new one he's found that's about like giant roadside attractions or giant, yeah, that's what I think it's called, giant roadside attractions. And First one he pointed out to me was at the Dr. Pepper Museum here in town. They recently added the world's largest bottle of Dr. Pepper is right out there, kind of in the main quad area between the museum and the old factory. And he suggested I go back there at some point. I said, yeah, maybe. And then he also said, and you got to check out this page. And so I did. I don't know. I might drop it a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of a lot of the same kind of thing. It's the biggest this or the biggest that's out in the middle of somewhere, and I don't know. It gets a little overwhelming because I think there's a little too much content, right? We'll upload a picture of this guy, the biggest cat in this house. Maybe we could go double most worthless being on the planet. What do you think? Or useless? Are you the most useless thing? Huh? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't decided yet which way I'm going to go with this. Right now, I'm continuing to get the stuff. One of the things that's a little bit of an annoyance, and I'm not sure how I did this. Maybe it's just something unique, but now, uh, rather than just having a show for my timeline, I'm starting to get alerts saying, "Hey, uh, Giant Roadside Attractions just posted this." He's like, "Why? Don't send me alerts." I'm not sure how I did that, but yeah, he thinks he's in control of me, but I don't know. He might be right. I don't know. Could be. We could use a good rainstorm here right about now. In fact, we might get one tomorrow. I hope so. It's been really hot. We're like in the upper 90s, low hundreds, like every day for the foreseeable future. But I think either tomorrow or Tuesday, there's supposed to be a rainstorm coming in that 50% chance, I guess they're saying right now, which means anything could happen. And we'll see. And that's supposed to bring us down to 96. So yeah, a little cold streak here. Got a cold front coming in. Welcome to Texas, right? Yeah, you kind of get used to it. I don't spend a lot of time out in it. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea to be outside in a lightning storm, says the person who sits in the backyard under a metal overhang, watching rainstorms and filming them. Or Sam's out in the backyard during a tornado warning. I could hear a voice. He's saying something. I can't quite make it out. So I'm going to assume he's saying, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Stay outside watching this. It's going to be cool. This is like the 6 year anniversary of moving into the house too, because it was 4th of July weekend. I moved in here 6 years ago. Usually I have rubber sole shoes, but usually when I'm in the backyard, I'm hanging from that rope chair I have. So I'm not even touching the ground, which means my butt is the low point to the ground. So if it does go through me, it's going to discharge from my butt into the ground. So yeah, that could be interesting. Turn me into a giant capacitor with my butt as one of the plates. Could be shocking. So what did everybody do for the 4th? Gotta whip this conversation up here. Yeah, I heard that the part of it was uh, delayed due to weather issues. Hey Tracy, good to see you back again. Good to see you back again. All right, happy birthday, Tracy. Glad you chose to spend part of your birthday weekend with us here. It was funny. Was seeing motion out on the front porch. There's a squirrel creeping around. I'm doing really well, Tracy. Really well. Job is going pretty good. Got a new refrigerator. Still got to figure out the ice maker. I've told this story before, but I'm convinced that the people that ran the water down the wall behind the refrigerator so they could put an ice maker in there. I'm convinced the guy used just parts that he had found floating around in a bucket, probably in his truck, and found something to make it work. Because I cannot, for the life of me, find a connector that, or an adapter that'll go from what's on the wall to what the refrigerator is to be. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Oh yeah, I've been wearing some of my vintage Jordan Alliance shirts. This one's cool because it's actually got a picture of me on it. I don't know how many Jordan the Lion t-shirts you have with your picture on it, right? Jordan and his occasional sidekick. We didn't have a lot of fireworks around here, so I don't know if he was aware of them. It was just another night. I don't know, think he understands why I'm lighting up the house the way I am, but that's okay. No, the big fireworks display was at the at McLean Stadium in Touchdown Alley. That was where the Waco had its fourth on the Brazos. I've done that a few years, and that's fun. I guess it was the Jacksons that played there. I was figuring, was that like what the Jacksons, like the Jackson Five? I guess it was. The surviving members performed at the show this year. You remember what was it? The Commodores that one year I went and that was a great one. But the big fireworks display was down there. I saw the peach pie recipe. I'm gonna look at that. I'm a little afraid of the crust part, but I got to read about that and make sure I know what I'm talking about before I try and do something like that. And I don't know if I'd go with the canned peaches. I'd try and find fresh ones. We're just about getting to the point now where there should be some good peaches. Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's another one I would have gone to see if they popped up. It's just fun to see some of those. I remember the Commodores when I was growing up, and I'd forgotten how many really great songs they had until I saw them play a couple of years ago. So, Earth, Wind, and Fire is definitely one I'd go see if I could, if the opportunity presented itself. Yeah, but if you're going to do it, you got to do it right, Susan. And I prefer to go fresh whatever I can. Oh, as if I needed justification to make pies. Happy 4th of July to you too, Mark. Good to see you again. Yeah, I guess Revenge of the Fifth can be any fifth day of the month, huh? I mean, May the 4th, I get that, but it isn't May the 5th. How you doing, Darth? Yeah, yeah, and sometimes I kind of make these my own too. But who knows? We'll see. I'll definitely think about it and see how we can do that. And figure out what we would have to do if I was going to do fresh peaches. I don't know. We'll figure it out. No, it always starts at some point, Mark. Yeah, Bite went back to his room, I think. That's sort of how I thought it worked, Gene. Because it seemed to me that was kind of how my mom did strawberry shortcake too. Just cut the cut the strawberries up a little, mash some of them a little bit, and throw in a little sugar and just mix it all together. No new rocks. Today would normally be the day I'd go, but Kara took the weekend off, so we'll go next time. Works good. Works good. You know, it's called work. It's not called play. And there's easy days and not so easy days. Oh, this is one of my vintage Jordan the Lion t-shirts. I've been doing that in the last few live streams, wearing a different one each week. Just kind of fun. It doesn't surprise me that Jordan would make a Bob Hope and Crosby reference in a t-shirt. That doesn't surprise me at all. Hey, Yvonne. I don't know. They're working on the food. I'm still having to get two meals in order to get a full lunch. But that's okay. I guess I can do that. Yeah, I don't know what she would say about. She tried doing a live stream to sell stuff once, and didn't really get good results, I think. And so I think she's a little bit leery. And I don't know if I'd be able to bring good results either. There's 13 people watching right now. If we started a live stream, what's the likelihood of somebody's going to buy something, let alone enough of you buying something to make it worth the trouble. If I could be guaranteed like access to Jordan's audience for a while. Yeah, but I'm not going to do that to Jordan. That's not cool. Besides, that's not what he does with his channel. He's not out there promoting a company or something like that. So uh, I'm glad that she's keeping in contact with you. She does the same thing for me. She knows the kinds of things I like, and from time to time will send me a picture. Oh, you might like this. I run into the same problem sometimes, Yvonne. It's like I'm trying to catch up here. It gets a little confusing too, because some of you aren't talking to me, some of you are talking to each other. I think she'd love to reach out into like the online market, but I'm not sure. I don't think she knows what to do. My Fourth of July was just sitting here binge watching Star Trek Voyager. I had to work on the fourth, so I didn't get home until what 9:30, something like that. It was a long day yesterday, so I just relaxed and went out and did one of my night walks. Can't talk today. I can do that, Darth. I can do that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what kind of market there is really for shop. That's really kind of a specialty thing in such a small town like this. But you know, she's she's making she's making a living doing it, at least trying to. So yeah, the Big Island is an amazing place. I've been to several of the islands on Hawaii, but I spent most of the time on the Big Island because that's the one that Matt lives on. And it's kind of a geology nerd. I love the geology of that. When you think of the fact that that island wasn't even there like 3 million years ago. Yeah, I guess putting the thermostat to 78 didn't fix anything, huh? Well, that's one thing you can count on Jordan's videos. He's going to explore different subjects. He'll do certain things and then he'll stop doing those. He'll start doing something else. It's always something new. Yeah, it's hot here too, but we're not dying because we're not stupid to put our thermostats to 78. Thank you for the plug, Tracy. All right, your efforts have increased my thumbs up ratio by 25%, Tracy. You did it. You've been very successful. Now it's increased by 50%. Woohoo! Whew, that was exciting. All right, what are we going to do now? Oh, maybe just a little one. Yeah, I was starting to look a little like a caveman. It was time. Yeah, fortunately, this thing's pretty simple. I can go without any moderators. I mean, Rhonda's a moderator, so if she pops up here again, she can do certain things like that. But Jordan's still a moderator. But that was at the very beginning when he was trying to keep me encouraged to keep doing this. He'd pop on from time to time, and he'd see some of the trolls that were popping up. And at one point, I kept seeing him say, "Make me a moderator. Make me a moderator." And so I said, "Okay, I'm gonna see if I can do this here." And so yeah, I made him a moderator, and he started going hunting after these trolls for me. So a lot of people in the early days that got banned from the channel were people that he banned. So, but that's it. I kind of handle my own moderation now. It's not like I got 40,000 messages coming across the screen that I gotta monitor and make sure they all get responded to. I heard about the hit and run too. Paul Pelosi's a mess. And it's funny when we do get the occasional troll, it won't just be one troll. It's one troll after another, after another, after another. It's the same person. They have a whole bunch of accounts. They will go in, they start trolling you on one. You block that one, they move on to the next one, and they start trolling you with that. So yeah, that's. I think I'm just small enough that I'm not exciting enough to them. They don't get enough of a charge from trolling me anymore. Plus the fact I like to insult their intelligence when they're there. So I'll attack them personally. They don't like that either. They usually have pretty fragile egos. That's why they have to do stuff like that to puff themselves up. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to. I've tried several times in my life to go with long hair, and just it never was the thing for me. And I figured, okay, I'm 60 now. I'm having a late life crisis here. Let's try it one more time, and it just isn't for me. I like it nice and short. It's easy to handle. No, I'm not going that far, Darth. Let me see if I get a picture of myself on Facebook here from when I worked at DMI. Let me see if I can find it here. When I had really long hair, it was my badge picture, so it was funny. Hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick here. It was a profile picture, so yeah, there it is. Okay, check this out. You're gonna laugh at this. Yeah, that was me circa about 1992. That was my badge picture at work. Gee, yeah, see what I mean? I mean, I tried. I tried. It just, yeah, it was enough. Oh, I don't know. It probably was 94, 95 that I stopped doing that. About the time I hit 30, I guess, started realizing it started looking pathetic. And I was starting to really, be successful at the CD World. So I kind of, I was starting to really, be successful at the CD World. So I kind of, I was meeting customers too. So I had to, look the part a little bit. The company was a little bit on the radical side anyway. So I could get away with a little bit long hair, but no, it doesn't look like me either. Yeah, it's funny. Back in the days when I didn't have to wear glasses to read. I don't know. At the time, I didn't really study politics at all. So I was kind of apolitical. I didn't really take one side or another. I did get more polarized um, until, I guess probably, late 90s, 98, 99, 2000. And then September 11th, that just pushed me over the top. I've always been a registered Republican, but at the beginning, it was primarily because my parents were registered Republicans. But I voted for Reagan. Yeah, those are my souvenirs from the Jurassic Quest thing. Thought they were really cool. They're really detailed and they're high quality too. It's not just like hollow or something. This thing's solid and it's got good paint on it. I mean, it looks good even close up. This one, that one's, look at the detail on that. Even got a little nose owie there. Something got him. Obviously, a fight with another dinosaur. And when you're a dinosaur like that, with where your only weapon is your mouth, it doesn't seem totally implausible that you're gonna have a lot of injuries around your mouth. So, yeah, they're pretty cool. I'll put them back there so you can keep watching them here. I gotta figure out a better way to put this guy so my head doesn't cover my poop. Yeah, grown man with toys. What did you guys get yourself into? You're lucky. I wish I had a full head of hair. Well, it was. I thought it was a couple of cool examples. They had a larger dinosaur, but I thought it was lower quality, and then they had a bunch of littler stuff that was geared more towards the kids, and that was more lower quality. But these were really good quality, so I thought they were cool. Yeah, it's all in your genes, Mark. I didn't think about that, Susan, but you're right because they are about the right size for that, especially the T Rex. This guy here, that's about the right size. He's about HO scale. Brachiosaurus, he's going to be a little small, I think. But the raptor thing here, this thing back here, I don't know. He may be too big. No, I'm thinking chasing people through the park. Yeah, no, that's definitely happening, Susan. That's a great idea because it just makes me laugh. No, the scale's wrong for the Christmas vacation house. It's perfect for the train village, though. Like I said, especially the T Rex. There isn't really one that's small enough that I'd be able to put it on the train now. No, but this will be great, great rampaging through the village. I like Back to the Future. Back to the Future is a good movie. It's one I can kind of burn myself out on a little bit though, so I got to kind of take a break from it from time to time. I don't think I've seen either Star Trek characters or Beavis and Butthead characters. I do still have a couple things on the Amazon wish list though that hang on, let me see if I can pull that up here. I think it's still in there. I got a few things for the yeah, okay, here, let me close that just to avoid the confusion here. So yeah, these top four things here are actually more parts of the Christmas Vacation collection. So those are pretty cool. And then this stuff is actually Train Village stuff. The little cars, a couple more buildings, some trees and animals and stuff like that. So I don't know. The Amazon wish list is still there. Yeah. Oh yeah. We may actually. Well, I think the two carnivores are both have their mouths open. So yeah, there'll definitely be somebody in there. Oh, Blues Brothers, great. I love the Blues Brothers. Bite, I think, went back to his room. No, Blues Brothers is a great movie, but I do like Back to the Future too. Back to the Future also, not just Back to the Future two. All three of them are good. You got to almost kind of watch them all back to back because they're all tied together. Yeah, we got to coax him back out here again before he gets any more treats. I retroactively gave him some treats earlier on, knowing that you'd be asking for it when he was here. But maybe we'll get him out. But maybe he's in a food coma too. So who knows? Yeah, I think I only saw like 16 Candles once in the theater. I think, but I like Breakfast Club and Fast Times. I got those both at my in my collection. I don't know. I haven't decided yet what we're gonna have for dinner. We'll figure something out. Might just go to the grocery store and get something off the meat aisle and see what looks good. Yeah, Bite's doing his thing. He's an old man now. He's like more than 19, but you know He's still kind of on top of things. He's slowing down a little, as we all would when we're that age, but he's doing good. I don't know. Let me see if I can coax him out here with some treats. Darth wanted him to have some treats, so there he is. You gonna come out here? Dude, you kind of have to. It's called the command performance. Yeah, you don't care about my command performance, do you? You're just gonna sit there? What, you woke my nap for that? Oh well, we tried. Yeah, Trailer Park Boys is kind of an interesting TV show. I got a little burned out on it. I think Jordan kind of got into it once initially because he actually ran into those guys, the three primaries, and and he kind of got to know him a little bit, and then started watching. Then he got me into him, and yeah, it's not for everybody. So are people having buffering problems? I've thought about getting a turntable. I don't know. I got a few Guided by Voices albums that are like really really rare that it'd be fun to play like once and hear them on vinyl. It gets really hard when you have to start thinking about putting a pet down. I remember the cat that I had before Bite and Nibble. I had to put him down. He had diabetes. I spent a ton trying to treat him. At the end of the day, we ended up preserving his life about 2 months. And I remember I made the decision that had to put him down. It's hard to do that. I've had to put down just about every pet I've ever had. That's what makes it really hard. Yeah, Bite's a good boy. He reliably shows up for the live streams, so he's still up and about. He spends about half his time sleeping in his bedroom, the other half of the time sleeping here in front of the front door. That's the hard part sometimes of making the decision to get the pet is if you take good care of them that you're probably going to have to kill them. And that's hard to do. It really is. The little dogs actually do go many, many years usually. It's the big ones that have the shorter lifespans. You hear about the little breed dogs that, go 18, 20, 25 years. That happens sometimes. Oh, I love African gray parrots. If I ever get a parrot, that's what I want is an African gray. They're beautiful birds. No, I had to work on the fourth. So I just came home and kind of binge watched Star Trek Voyager. Well, let's face it, I don't do live streams without learning how to interpret what people meant to type. Usually I can figure out. Sometimes I'm baffled completely by what it was they're trying to say. So, but usually I can. Usually, if it's just a simple typo, I can usually figure it out. Yeah, supposedly one of the smartest breeds. Some of them are actually capable of carrying out rudimentary conversations. I've heard about that too. Amazon or African gray parrots talking to Alexa or something like that. Yeah, I've heard that happen. Especially if they learn the word Alexa, then they learn how to trigger it, and then it starts talking to them, so they start talking back. Wow. It's amazing what some people retain with Alzheimer's. Because you think of it generally as just robbing you of short-term memories. Because a lot of times they'll like remember things from 40, 50, 60 years ago. But Alexa wasn't around 50, 60 years ago. So it's like I said, it's interesting how the human brain works. See, I think if I had an African gray parrot that could talk, I would intentionally put it next to Alexa and tell and let it know how to turn the lights off and on. Just let it do it all the time. That would be funny. Because I'd walk by my house or something at night, and the lights would be going on and off randomly, and it'd be my own little personal practical joke. I don't know. Pets bring a lot to your family, though. You know, I like having Bite around. I mean, consider how far Bite's come here. You know, he got his name because in our first encounter, he tried to bite me. Well, Alexa is starting to be more and more AI. It'd be funny to see if, uh, what a bird could do to Alexa to make Alexa get angry. All thumbs today, huh? I'd love to see video of it, Gene, to see if you could actually make Alexa get mad. It would just be fun to see the results. I'm surprised that somebody doesn't, you don't see that kind of thing happen because it seems like it'd be, a funny thing just to get some of the, get footage of some of the funny responses you get from Alexa or any of the AI models. I didn't know you could do that. Yeah, I don't really have any interest in any of the AI stuff either. I just don't know where the line for privacy is with that. That'd be funny. I don't know if you can do it. If you could do add-on voices, where you could buy like aftermarket voices that you could load in, like updates or upgrades or extras or something, and you could get some of these celebrities to do their voices, map their vocal patterns. They can do that really accurately now. Yeah, my email alert used to be Homer Simpson. Not if they sell the rights to it. Oh, Flash is made for the heat. She loves the heat. I haven't seen her today yet, but she'll probably be out earlier this evening. It gets a little too hot. She's not like doesn't love just really hot sun. She just don't doesn't have the ability to warm her body up, but she could overheat too. So, at that point she goes and hides in the shade or something. The only time I ever had an AOL account was when I worked for Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers at one point it was AOL Time Warner. So we all got a free AOL account. As soon as I left the company, I deactivated it. Well, it was deactivated because it was only given to me because it was free and I never used it that much anyway. That's true. Yeah, might be. At very least, it's not going. The neighbors aren't going to like it. Why is it in the middle of the night the lights keep going on and off? Yeah, if you do it, post it on the Facebook page. Yeah, David Letterman used to be funny. Okay, thanks for stopping in, Gene. See you next time. Have a good church. Last time I saw Flash was last weekend, so she's probably out and about, or will be later on in the day. It's probably going to be a little too hot right now because I think we're supposed to like get almost to 100 today, and I think they're talking about rain coming in either tomorrow or Tuesday, and that's going to bring with it a cold front. It's going to drop it to 96. So looking forward to that. Probably bring a lot of humidity too. That'll be fun. Yeah, I don't know. Let me go see whether it's Monday or Tuesday. The rain's coming in here. I remember it was one of those days. Scan through all the BS here. Yeah, I guess it's tomorrow. But they're already reducing the chance. It was like 55% this morning, and it's down to 40 tomorrow. So yeah, this may fizzle. It'd be nice. I'd love it if it rained. Lately, I've been keeping it. I think 68 is what I'm keeping it here. Move into position two. Here. 2 here. It's really quiet in here now. Well, I got to waste before this video goes private because I got a good 30 minutes to go here. So we're going to keep going for a while. I did take the sister and the family out there. Yeah, I haven't been out there for well, probably since then. So it's been a couple months since like April something. But I'm hoping to be able to see the marker in a couple months. I haven't done an Instant Pot recipe for a while. I still really like my Instant Pot. No, I'm not in any hurry to get it. And the fact that I paid cash for it, that ought to make them be, a little bit more on, okay, we're good. We got everything we need. Let's go get this guy's done. And like I said, everyone that I've heard up and down the line is really excited about this project. The person at the monument company that was doing the business, the stone cutter that was going to do this. Even the cemetery themselves is excited about it. I was told that the marker company had to actually go to the cemetery and get approval. And the guy who makes the decision looked at my marker idea and said he really liked that idea. He wished more people did stuff like that. And even the stone cutter got the idea because got where I was going with this because I gave him a couple height ranges to design the thing at, and he completely threw away all the lower height ranges. Said, "I'm only going to quote you the big one because if you do any of the little ones, he said it's going to look like a pencil, the lead of a pencil sticking out. It's got to be big," and he was right. So I got the biggest one I could. It's going to be 4 feet tall, plus the platform it's on, so it's going to be almost 5 feet tall. It's going to be a big, big marker. Well, I know I'll be here till the end. No, I haven't heard anything from them since I was there last time. I might send him an email, ask for an update. Yeah, I blank out from time to time too. Well, hopefully the next maintenance interval at work will be coming up late September, early October. They were talking about maybe taking 3 weeks off this time because we've been getting a little behind on some of the stuff that we need to do, and the 2 weeks isn't enough to do it. I think so. It may go for 3 weeks. So hopefully the company's also decided it wants to do like offline training during this time. So we usually have like a company meeting that's like an all day kind of thing, and there'll be little training sessions and stuff like that, and uh, hopefully we can get them to plan it a little better, so it's not plop plop right in the middle of the time off. That's what it. I couldn't go on any vacation this past maintenance shutdown because, I had to be here on this day, and then it was 1 or 2 days, and I was back again, and then it was another day or two, and then we go back to the meeting. It's like it just didn't work out well. But yes, I will definitely be going back to Silo again, and it'd be great if it's 3 weeks off this time because then I could do a couple weeks of Silo. In the past, it's been 1 or 2 weeks most. I'm looking forward to see what John did for with Silo this year because he's been kind of building things, and he kind of gave me a tour of what he was thinking last time, and so I'm interested in seeing what he did. One of the things he got a couple of like old fighter jets, wrecked fighter jets that I guess had been sitting in a field for years, and he moved them over to the Silo, and he's been decorating those, and he was like putting aliens and stuff in them. So I don't know, that might be kind of cool. And I think he was talking about also doing like a Wizard of Oz kind of thing. So I'm very interested to see what he does this year. I don't remember which is it. Is it New Hampshire or Vermont? Let's let AI solve this problem for us here. What state is the Granite State?
New Hampshire is known as the Granite State because of its granite bedrock. You can find more information about the state's
Okay, yeah, all right. Thank you. There's your answer, New Hampshire. Yeah, I'll be here for a few too. I don't know. That was just the default voice. I don't even know if there's an option to change. I wouldn't know where to go. I had to go dig through it to even figure out where to go. I don't know. I wasn't really judging the voice. Let's see. Let's see if it'll answer this question. Whose voice is your voice patterned after?
I am a text-based AI, so I don't have my own voice. The voice you hear is from the text-to-speech feature of your device, not from me.
Oh, there you go. All right, so it's something built into the phone. It had to think about that too for a minute. Thanks for stopping in, Tracy. Good seeing you. Okay, I'll have to go play with that. Yeah, it's never really something I thought about, so I'm sure it's in there somewhere. Not true. Flash is here. I haven't seen her this morning yet, or today this yet, but I'm sure she's fine. She was fine when I saw her last week. She kind of has the run of the yard and does her thing. I'm sure she's hiding from the heat right now. see you buy it again. You gonna come visit? I'd like to see you. That got him going a little bit. You gonna come up? Come on, man. These treats aren't gonna eat themselves. You're no fun. Oh well, we tried. Bite is a 3-course meal. No, I had to work all day yesterday. I didn't get home until 9 or 9:30. So, and they don't do fireworks in this area. It's not. They're not legal. He's lost any weight. Oh no, no, he's just standing there. Come on, buddy. Come over here. They want to see you. Yeah, being lazy, that's one of his defining characteristics. Guess not, huh? Yeah, this isn't really fair to your fans, Bite. It really isn't. Ah, yes, there he is. Bite has left the building. Yeah, but the police drive around here looking for people lighting off fireworks, and they'll arrest you on the spot. I saw some kind of off in the distance when I was driving home from work, but I wasn't aware of any of it. That's probably what it is. He's hungover. Yeah. Well, the police weren't as diligent there. I mean, the first year, I think the first or second year, must have been the second year I was in the house. I actually went to one of the really cool fireworks places that we have here in Texas, and I loaded up on a bunch of mortars and bottle rockets and Roman candles and all sorts of all the good stuff. And when I tried lighting one of them off around here, within like 30 seconds, there'd be a police officer driving down the street looking for where it was coming from. They're serious about it here. Yeah, I have no interest in Taylor Swift or any of her relationships. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. And we're now taking over and unders for when the divorce will happen. Apparently, their cocktail hour was the bomb, though. A 100 might be true. Another question for AI here. How old is Taylor Swift? Well, that didn't seem to work very well here. Let's try it the other way here. How old is Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift was born on December 13th, 1989, making her currently 36 years old.
There you go. I don't know of any of her material, so I can't even comment. But what I understand it to be, it's nothing I'd be into. No, it said 36. Yeah, the 100 estimate might be a little off. Yeah, I'm not really into her stuff either. I mean, I don't, like I said, I wouldn't know it if I heard it, to be honest. Yeah, I figured out what you meant in Gene. Like I said, when you do these live streams, you get to the point where you can read through the typos and figure out. And I mean that I could see how into her and interior could be confused. It blows me away these days. Some of the music I hear playing um, in the grocery stores now. You never would have thought that you'd hear Nirvana playing in the grocery store, but you hear that now. I'm not gonna say I don't like her. I don't know. I don't know anything about her. I'm just not interested in her. I liked a lot of the music in the '90s too, John. The whole grunge thing, Smashing Pumpkins, Pixies, Jane's Addiction. I don't know. What are your favorite '90s bands? Let's see if we can go take the conversation in that direction here. All right, see you, Darth. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, maybe we'll do a restaurant vlog. I don't know. We'll see. Name some songs though, or bands. Yeah, I like the whole grunge thing for the most part. Soundgarden, Nirvana, B-52s. Okay, that's more '80s. Guided by Voices had some good albums. Yeah, Alice in Chains. I love Alice in Chains. Dirt was one of my favorite albums. Still one of my favorite grunge albums. Mozart. No, we're talking 1990s, not 1790s. Radiohead. Radiohead had a few good had like a good track. They were like a one hit wonder, right? That song "Creep" that was theirs, right? Corn. Okay, yeah, there's another one. Motorhead. No, I think that's a little before the '90s. Yeah, I love the Smashing Pumpkins. Right at the beginning. What is it? Gish, Siamese Dream, and Melancholy. And that's just then Melancholy, of course, was a double album. So that's like just four back to back, just stellar albums. I know, right? I'm old because I'm listening to stuff from the 90s. Red Hot Chili Peppers. I saw them play. They were great. Primus too. How about Primus? Anybody remember Primus or Sonic Youth? Nine Inch Nails. I never saw Nine Inch Nails. Foo Fighters. I wasn't as into Foo Fighters as I was into Nirvana. Spice Girls. No. Wrong answer, Darth. You mean Blondie? Yeah. Yeah, I love Sonic Youth. Pet Shop Boys. That was more 80s, wasn't it? I don't know. Thanks for stopping in, Yvonne. Good seeing you. Happy 4th of July to you too. Backstreet Boys, no. Wrong. Beethoven, yeah, you're off by a couple centuries there. Or as they say on Beyond Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Beethoven. Is that a band or a place? Bee Gees, no, that's 70s. Oasis was seemed like they were going to be the big thing for about 5 minutes. Unfortunately, they didn't. They didn't really amount. They were supposed to be the next Beatles, weren't they? Britney Spears, no. Devo was 70s and 80s more than 90s. Not that they're a great bad band or anything. They're a great band, underrated band. Devo's biggest problem is that only everybody only knows one song. And there's so many really great songs. Stone Temple Pilots. That was 90s, I think. Yeah, they were big too. Jane's Addiction. I love Jane's Addiction. That's sad what happened with that band. Pearl Jam. I like Pearl Jam right at the beginning, but I don't know. It turned. I thought it was more soft grunge. You know, it was really the first grunge band I bought and listened to, but I bought like three of them at the same time because I got that one. I got Soundgarden. What was the album? It was one after Louder Than Love. Sorry, I can't remember what the album was right now. Bad Motorfinger, and uh, and I got Nirvana's Nevermind. And I think I also got the Chili Peppers because we were going to Lollapalooza that year, and Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers were all playing there. So I'd gotten the current albums for all three of them, and I was listening to that. And the Pearl Jam was the first one I got, and I thought I liked it first, and I started listening to like Soundgarden, which was a little bit heavier, And Chili Peppers was kind of went in different directions. And Chili Peppers had been around for forever, which was interesting too. But that was their blowout album in about 91, 92, right when the whole grunge thing was breaking. Because I remember, doing, Red Hot Chili Peppers music when I worked at the CD factory in the mid 80s. So, oh, I love Elton John. Elton John's amazing. He's not 90s, but he's definitely one of our best artists. Yeah, I mean, I love Alice in Chains. I got to do that more often. I just ask some general question and let it go that way because this that turned out to be a little fun little thread there. The Verve, U2, yeah, I remember them. U2, I always thought was overrated. I was more into like REM, even REM that was late 80s or late 80s, mid to late 80s, stuff like that. They kind of began fizzling out later. Queen was best in like the 70s. George Michael was never the best. Actually, Queen started in the late 60s, didn't they? Green Day, I was into them for a while too. My problem with that is I had that album Dookie, and I think I just kind of burned out on that. I listened to that so much that I just never went back to it again. The Brax, oh man, they suck. I had to block you for even mentioning them. Jeez. Yeah, I'm just not really into George Michael's music. Wasn't really into Wham either. Shania Twain. Oh man. You're on drugs, Darth. There's no other explanation. All right. Well, we've blown way past my 2 hours today, so I'm going to pull the plug on this one. Thanks, everyone. I had a good time today. I'll see you next time. Good night.